Welcome to this presentation on qualitative, quantitative, and mixed methods research, presented by Dr. Paul Kebbel. Quantitative research is about quantifying the relationships between variables. We measure these variables and construct statistical models to explain what we've observed. The researcher knows in advance what they are looking for. The goal is prediction, control, confirmation, and testing hypotheses. The aim is to determine the relationship between one thing, known as the independent variable, and another, the dependent variable. The degree to which a condition exists is measured as the difference between groups with regard to a variable. The independent variable is what the researcher manipulates to measure its effect on the dependent variable. For example, if you wanted your cat to stop peeing in the house, you might try spraying it with water, shouting, chasing, or throwing a cushion. These different methods are the independent variables, and the peeing is the dependent variable. A variable is anything that can vary or be expressed in different values or categories, as opposed to a constant. Quantitative designs have at least two types of variables, independent and dependent. The independent variable can be manipulated, measured, or selected before measuring the outcome, or dependent variable. While a research question may involve more than one independent and dependent variable, each hypothesis must contain only one of each type. There must be a way to measure each type of variable. A correctly formulated hypothesis should answer questions such as: what variables is the researcher responsible for? How can these be measured? What results are expected? How are these depicted? What do we expect from these results? Quantitative methods include correlational and descriptive approaches. Correlational methods collect data to determine if, and to what extent, a relationship exists between quantitative variables. For example, examining the degree parental involvement in school relates to increased student achievement. Descriptive methods collect data to test hypotheses or answer questions about the current status, such as pre-election political polls or surveys about parents' perceptions of their schools. Causal or comparative methods attempt to determine the cause or reason for existing differences in behavior or status among groups. For example, looking at the effect of preschool attendance on social maturity at the end of the first year. The independent variable is preschool attendance, while the dependent variable is the difference in social maturity between groups. Experimental methods involve manipulating at least one independent variable, controlling other relevant variables, and observing the effect on dependent variables. An example is studying the effect of positive reinforcement on attitude towards cognitive behavior therapy, with reinforcement type as the independent variable and attitude as the dependent variable. Single-subject designs are used to study behavioral change resulting from an intervention. For example, examining the effects of weekly cognitive behavior therapy sessions with those identified as depressed. The first step in any research study is defining the problem. Rather than fitting a technique to a problem, let the potential solutions determine the best methodology. The problem drives the methodology. Consider your research. Discuss what are the variables, and which ones are dependent, and which ones are independent. Qualitative research involves data collection, ethics and data gathering, data analysis, and issues of validity and reliability. Qualitative data can be collected through questionnaires, interviews, descriptive accounts, observations, and personal constructs such as narratives. When planning a questionnaire, consider the types of items, avoid pitfalls in question writing, focus on layout, and ensure you pilot the questionnaire. To plan your questionnaire, decide its purpose, define the population and sample, generate topics, choose measures and questions, write the items with varied styles, check all issues are covered, and pilot and refine the questionnaire. Questions can be structured, semi-structured, or unstructured. Other types include dichotomous, multiple choice, rank ordering, rating scales like Likert, matrix questions, and incentives. Avoid leading, highbrow, complex, irritating, negative, or ambiguous questions. Don't use too many open-ended questions, and ensure clarity to prevent misinterpretation. Interviews can be used in qualitative research. Understand their conceptions and purposes, and the various types available. If the interviewer establishes rapport and asks questions acceptably, and the respondent is sincere, accurate data may result. Bias can creep in, but can be minimized with skill. Interviews can be used to assess, select participants, test or develop hypotheses, gather data, or sample opinions. Informal conversational interviews involve questions emerging naturally from the immediate context, with no predetermined topics or wording. The interview guide approach specifies topics and issues in advance as an outline. The interviewer decides the sequence and wording of questions during the interview. Standardized open-ended interviews have exact wording and sequence determined in advance. All interviewees are asked the same basic questions in the same order. Closed interviews, also known as quantitative interviews, have predetermined questions and response categories. Respondents select from these fixed responses. Descriptive accounts aim to view situations through participants' eyes, capturing their intentionality, interpretations, meaning systems, and interaction dynamics as situations unfold. Accounts involve identifying informants, defining episodes and role groups representing the domain of interest, identifying exemplars, and selecting individual informants. Control procedures include rationale for choosing episodes and role groups, degree of involvement of potential informants, and contacting individuals to establish motive, competence, and performance. Account gathering includes establishing venue, recording the account, controlling relevance, authenticating, defining interviewer and interviewee roles, post-account authentication, contextual effects of venue, accuracy in documentation, agenda negotiation, internal consistency, degree of direction, and corroboration. Research strategies for accounts include transforming accounts, providing working documents, using data reduction techniques, ensuring transcription reliability and coder reliability, and assessing appropriateness of statistical and content analyses. Researchers' accounts involve summarizing, providing an overview and interpretation, describing research operations, explanatory schemes, and theoretical background. Discourse analysis explores the organization of ordinary talk and everyday explanations, and the social actions performed. Collecting, transcribing, and analyzing discourse data creates a psychological, natural history. Discourses are coherent sets of linguistic material that allow people to construct meaning in social contexts. Observation methods include structured observation, critical incidents, naturalistic and participant observation, and using natural or artificial settings. Personal constructs involve elicited versus provided constructs, allotting elements to constructs, and using laddering and pyramid constructions to organize narratives. Data analysis in qualitative research includes tabulating data, using systematic approaches, and can be illustrated by examples from research. Qualitative data analysis involves organizing, accounting for, and explaining collected data. This process includes noting patterns, themes, categories, and regularities. Tabulating data systematically organizes it, and can be done in various ways. Data can be organized by grouping for themes or patterns, individually for total responses, issue-related for particular concerns, research question for coherence, or instrumentally by results from each data collection instrument. Validity and reliability are key concerns in qualitative research. Validity can be ensured through triangulation, and reliability is equally important. Validity is crucial for effective research. Invalid research is worthless. In qualitative data, validity may be addressed through honesty, depth, richness, scope, participant selection, and triangulation. Descriptive validity refers to the factual accuracy of the account. It should not be fabricated, selective, or distorted. It is what actually happened, objectively. Interpretive validity is the ability of the research and the researcher to capture the intended or true meaning through accurate interpretations, terms, and intentions, reflecting participants' meanings in their socio-cultural setting. Theoretical validity relates to the theoretical constructions the researcher brings to the research. The methodology should match the research outcomes. Generalizability is the view that theory generated may help understand other similar situations. Generalizing refers to specific groups, communities, or circumstances, and beyond, to outsider communities or situations. Evaluative validity applies an evaluative, judgmental framework to what is being researched, rather than a descriptive or interpretive one. This aligns with critical theoretical perspectives, where the researcher's evaluative agenda may intrude. Triangulation involves using two or more methods of data collection in studying behavior. The multi-method approach contrasts with the single method, which is more vulnerable. This is also referred to as mixed methods. Types of triangulation include time triangulation, space triangulation, combined levels, theoretical triangulation, investigator triangulation, and methodological triangulation. Triangulation Model 1 includes data collection through interviews and questionnaires, along with literature review, to enhance validity. Triangulation model 2 uses multiple data collection methods, such as questionnaires, interviews, and observation, combined with literature review for comprehensive analysis. Mixed triangulation models combine quantitative and qualitative data collection methods, with literature review, to provide a broader perspective. Mixed methods research requires purposeful mixing of methods in data collection, analysis, and interpretation. This approach enables researchers to view their research landscape from different viewpoints and through diverse lenses. Mixed methods research involves collecting and analyzing both quantitative and qualitative data within the same study. Its growth in nursing and healthcare has coincided with increasing complexity in healthcare delivery. It draws on strengths of both methods, allowing exploration of diverse perspectives and uncovering relationships between layers of multifaceted research questions. Mixed methods can help researchers explore contemporary healthcare trends and practices across diverse settings. An example research question, using an online, discipline-specific literacy test to promote self-directed literacy learning and development among 121 second-year physiotherapy students. In Week 1, students take an online academic literacy test, are shown a line graph of de-identified results, discuss academic literacy development, and the cohort takes the same test at semester's end. In pairs or groups, please discuss your intended research in terms of data collection and tools, providing validity and reliability, and using mixed methods.